car, I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Hey kids, welcome to Grumpy Nostalgia, the Second Look Cinema podcast, the show where we go back to the blockbuster new release wall of our memories, we grab a copy off the shelf, we put it in the VCR, and we see what time has done to it. I'm Justin, that's Mike.
California, man.
And together we're here to help you navigate all those landmines littered down memory lane. So Mike, we're back. It's been a long time since I've seen you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I feel like we saw a lot of horror.
Yeah.
The horror kind of thing.
For those keeping track at home, me and Mike haven't seen each other probably about a month. We preloaded a bunch of episodes for you for your listening enjoyment, but we spent the last month, enjoying the holiday with our wives and getting some stuff done. I want to take a moment to acknowledge our wives here, Mike, and the immeasurable support they show for the podcast. When I say immeasurable, I mean, in fact,
it's not measurable.
You can't measure it because it is, in fact, zero. Has Lydia ever listened to an episode?
It's in fits and spurts. It's like a couple here. She'll listen to 3 in a row, and I'm like, wow. That thing y'all did about Interview for Vampire was pretty good. I was like, Lydia, that was like a year and a half ago. Said, oh, well, I didn't know.
Yeah, my betrothed is equally entertained.
She's got to be transfixed by our voices.
She's literally only listens by a captive audience. She only listens when we're in the car together, buying our Costco supplies every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Captive
but hey,
here, you got to listen to this or else.
Yeah. Well, she'll be sorry when I quit my job and do this for real. that'll show her.
That'll learn her.
Then she'll be sorry. Well, speaking of sorry, and me and Mike want to take this opportunity to apologize to everybody. Typically, we don't like to cash in on internet memeable gossip talk, but it's that time of year, the Christmas season, and the movie we're going to talk about today invariably comes up in conversation. There's a lot of great debate about whether this is a Christmas movie or not. Of course, we're talking about Die Hard from 1988. So we thought we'd kind of explore this, not so much for is it a Christmas movie or not, but we just wanted to see an old time action movie where, they dared to have a man as the hero. But this is kind of fun to go back and watch. So we're going to talk about it, and then the Christmas stuff will probably come in as we go. So, Mike, you ready to jump in again? You remember how to do this?
I think so. I remember something about talking about a cast and how this movie was created. Right. So I'm ready.
Half the battle's over. You remember some of it. So
yeah.
So this was directed by John McTiernan, who's a top tier A-list director in Hollywood, very prolific, done a lot of great movies. Among them, Last Action Hero, which we covered this summer on our podcast. If you haven't heard,
was that great? Was that good?
It does. It's the same answer as is this a Christmas movie?
It's not. Do you ever have like the on some of these? Do you ever have like with that movie? We had nostalgia when we watched it. Obviously we watched it and we thought we watched it again and we think, oh, it's not quite as bad as we thought it was the first time we saw it. But now a few months removed again, and I'm thinking that movie wasn't so good. So does that mean I have to watch it again?
No, it just means the peaks and valleys of your love-hate relationship with Hollywood is you're in a valley right now.
It is.
Yeah.
And that goes for John McTiernan movies, man.
Yeah.
Hunt for Red October is fabulous, one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah,
even 13th Warrior, not too shabby. But Thomas Crown Affair, what was that? That was horrible. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan.
Got Predator in there too. Don't forget about that. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's crazy. He has some really good things on his resume, but I don't know. It's hit or miss for me.
Okay, well, let's see if we can blame some other people for your displeasure. This is based on the book by Rod Thorpe. He's given this story credit to all the Die Hard movies. He wrote the original novel. The actual screenwriters were a guy named Jeb Stewart, who wrote The Fugitive and Another 48 Hours, among many others. And he was joined by another prolific screenwriter in Hollywood called Stephen D'Souza, who did The Running Man and Commando. And Mike, I don't know where this will place him in your heart, but The Flintstones. He's responsible for writing The Flintstones.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So,
oh man, why Rick Moranis. Come on, man. What are you doing?
All right.
Barney Rubble.
Come on. You said your piece on this. Let's move on.
I know.
All right.
It was funny. I saw as an aside, I saw Jan de Bont's name in the credits as the photography guy. I was like, oh yeah, that guy, the Twister guy. I remember
good catch. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit him here in a minute. So this had a $28 million budget. It was released on July. I'm going to say that again. July 15th, 1988. So Christmas movie.
Yes.
All right, so this movie is really famous for its villain. Every good action film is only as good as its villain. So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and walk us through the cast and kind of flesh out that guy and the other principal players?
That guy. Yeah. You mean Alan Rickman? Rest in peace. Hans Gruber he's quintessential villain. I think he's probably in my top 3 as far as villains for movies.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the classically trained English, accent. Although in here he's trying to do his German, and he does a pretty good American, Mr. Clay. But yeah, you think of him, and he's the only thing that saves Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's
he's generally the best part of any movie he's in.
Yeah, I mean, you hear anybody who's like a big Harry Potter, movie series fan, and his role as Severus Snape is one of the favorites.
Yeah,
and it's not just a plain paper cardboard cutout villain guy. There's some depth to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's up against John McClane. How can he win against Bruno and the former Mr. Demi Moore? There's no way he's going to beat Bruce Willis. But they have some fantastic mano a mano kind of conversations. This is our 3rd Bruce Willis movie after Fifth Element and I believe 12 Monkeys.
A little Willis fatigue.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. They had some pictures that recently came out about him going through his dementia, and it's sad to see. It's sad to watch this movie and then see current day pictures of him. And it's like it's the same guy, but he's not.
Yeah, especially a guy that like his character was like based on his sharpness and his wit. To see him kind of debilitate, it's really depressing.
Yeah, it is. It is. His estranged wife in this movie is played by Bonnie Bedelia, and she has a bad spot in my heart because she was the girlfriend in Salem's Lot, and whenever I see her, I think of that movie again.
Yeah, it didn't end well, did it? Yeah.
No, it did not. But she was in a movie I really like called Heart Like a Wheel, where she played a drag racer. I think it was Shirley McDowney. Fantastic little sleeper movie from I think the early 80s. Yeah. And don't forgive her for playing her son is Anthony Edwards, but forgive her for that. There's several side characters in here. Of course, you can't forget our cop who shows up on the scene first, Reginald Vell Johnson, who later parlays his fame into becoming the kind of a side character in Family Matters. Starring Steve Urkel.
Did I do that?
Stop it!
His neighbor, his neighbor, right? Yeah, he's not
kind of
a family member. He's not king.
No, he kind of took over that show, but that's
Urkel.
Yeah, that's a story for another time. You have
too easy.
You have fantastic. The other cop is a fantastic character actor, Paul Gleason, who he was the teacher in Breakfast Club, and also plays the kind of the villainy guy in Trading Places, and he doesn't have a lot of roles, but when you see his face, you know who this guy is.
He's typecast as a butthole.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere he goes. Yeah, good for him too.
Speaking of buttholes, he also had a returning guy from Ghostbusters, Mr. Walter Peck, played by William Atherton, and he's the annoying reporter on this movie.
He's missing some of his anatomy, I've heard. Shame, really.
Yes, Mayor. This man has we got the. And then you have various henchmen, like Fritz and Carl, and I think one of them was a Russian ballet dancer in real life. The guy who plays Carl, and there's that one guy, the Asian guy, Al Young, who
yes,
he dies in every movie. He's kind of like he's
Sean
that guy.
He's Sean Bean.
Oh yeah, I always remember him as Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's just me. And then you had a guy that looked like Huey Lewis. It was one of the bad guys. He was the doorman, I think, in this one. And
Mike, that's so weird that you said that because I actually have written in my script Huey Lewis doppelganger.
Yeah, he even has the butt chin. That's the guy.
Get out of my head, man.
You're welcome. But that's pretty much your cast. I don't want to, there's others people in here. You're like, oh yeah, that guy and that guy.
That guy, yeah. Just some of the best hair of any henchman I've ever seen, excluding Al Long's mullet, which was fantastic. But luckily, that mullet wasn't spoiled by an ice cream cone going through the back of his head, as was the case in Last Action Hero. But
yes,
God bless Al. Other notes about that cast. So at the time, Bruce Willis got a $5 million salary to play this role, which was unheard of at that kind of money in that era, especially for a TV actor. But that was
was this his first breakout role? I mean, this was 88, so I figured this was right after Moonlighting. And was this his first movie? I mean, because was this after? I'm pretty sure this is his first big movie. I know he was in the first Blind Date movie. Yeah. That is a hefty price tag. I can't believe $5 million
even for inflation.
88. Yeah.
Just about every major actor in Hollywood was up for the role. The most significant and more realistic of these was Robert De Niro, but he passed at the last minute. The role of Hans Gruber, played by Alan Rickman, that was also up for consideration for Sam Neill, who probably would have pulled that off pretty well. He's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman was considered for the Reginald Bell Urkel neighbor role, but he turned it down. George Takei.
Oh my!
He really wanted to be part of this movie. He wanted to play Mr. Takagi.
Oh wow!
But his agent screwed up. It was a kind of a miscommunication with the casting company. He went to the wrong one, and Mr. Sewell was very upset about this. Captain, I impugn my wrath upon you. But yeah, he never got the role. He's very upset about it.
Oh, funny.
Some other notes. Speaking of never getting the role, I thought this was completely odd, but I'm going to say it anyway. Jack Lemmon politicked very hard to play the John McClane role. He wanted to play that role in the main role.
Jack Lemmon?
Apparently he doesn't have a calendar or a mirror. But obviously he was passed over. But yeah, he was adamant about wanting to play this role. Didn't get it. Some other notes about the movie I thought were kind of cool. John McClane's undershirt, the little white beater thing, that's actually in display in the Smithsonian.
Yes.
I didn't see when we were there, Mike. Do you remember seeing that?
I think they've got it put away somewhere. Yeah, I didn't see it either. I was there earlier this year, and no T-shirt. I've been interested.
So most of the dialogue was improvisation. It was primarily the result of major script issues, changes, and going on the fly. That was Bruce Willis made up a lot of his own lines.
Like have a few laughs. Come on,
I'm sure.
The West Coast.
You kind of tell where they were. So you mentioned Jan de Bont, who was the director of photography for this movie. He was kind of inspired by the elevator scenes, so much to the point that he incorporated it into his first directorial effort, which another podcast we covered, Speed. A lot of the elevator stuff was inspired by this movie. There's a body count of 18 on this, 18 gruesome deaths. So, because Christmas. So there you go. So, this was 1988. We always kind of talk a little bit about the era that these movies were in before we jump into them. So, this movie came out on, as I mentioned, July 15th, along with A Fish Called Wanda, which is one of the greatest dark comedies ever made. It's fantastic. The week before this, you had License to Drive, I think with both Coreys, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Feldman and Haim.
Yeah. Like Hope and Crosby. Just
exactly.
Not good. He also had Short Circuit 2.
Speaking of not good.
With the Goots. The following week, we had a couple powerhouse sequels come out. Caddyshack 2. The less said about that, the better. And Big Top Pee-wee. Featuring a talking pig for most of the movies.
Please save your questions until I'm through.
But this 88 was a pretty good year for movies in total. The top movie that year was Rain Man, followed by Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Coming to America, and Good Morning Vietnam. I think Die Hard came in number 7 that year. Some other things about 88, we've been talking the last couple of podcasts about 70s music, and that's been a lot more fun than 80s music here, Mike. Not as much fun to talk about. A little more.
The 80s died around I'm gonna say about 85, 86,
a little
maybe.
A little more mundane. The top songs on the charts here were Hold On to the Night by Karl Marx.
Richard Marx?
And it says Karl Marx here. It says
was that a collaboration with Frederick Engels?
Yeah, you remember the song that should have known better that a class struggle is a political struggle, or
I should have known better than the established capitalism.
Yeah. Hold on the workers because they control the means of production, all that stuff. We make fun of Richard Marx. He remember the big hair, Mike? He had like it was like a mulleted afro. It was his own thing. It was really weird.
It was definitely a mullet, but it was just very, very feathery, very
Yeah.
treated. You know, it
Yeah,
was.
but he got the last laugh. He's currently married to MTV personality Daisy Fuentes, Mike.
That's where they ended
Yeah.
up. Okay.
Yeah, there you
Wow.
go. So he wins, and we don't. We just have wives that won't listen to our podcast.
Oh.
Other songs on the radio, we had "Ragdoll" by Aerosmith,
Ah,
"Hot Tramp Daddy's Little Cutie,"
yes.
the song "Fast Car" by Tracy Chapman, which I noticed this past week on one of the 500 country music awards. Won a slew of awards this year. It's a country song now, covered by a country artist.
Apparently, yes.
Yeah,
And
so
it was gender switch too. How about that?
yeah, it's encouraging to see the country music crowd, stop shooting cases of Bud Light for 5 minutes. I wonder how they feel if they listen to a song written by a black liberal lesbian. But whatever, well, who cares, right? Other good songs on the radio were the Twist by the Fat Boys, Mike. Featuring Chubby Checker.
Oh boy,
the Fat Boys were hot off their previous year's performance in Disorderlies, Mike. So they're riding the wave of pop culture.
Yes, that was a classic.
They got Chubby Checker to cover the song with them. The second time Chubby Checker covered the song, everybody associates the Twist with Chubby Checker, but Mike, here's a trivia question: who in fact was the original writer of the Twist? What group?
No.
A guy named Hank Ballard wrote the song in 1959, and Chubby Checker sang it the next year. And
it wasn't Karl Marx. That sounds like a good twisted kind of song he would do.
Yeah, but no, he. So that was a great song, sort of. And then finally, you had "Pour Some Sugar on Me" by Def Leppard, which never been one of my favorite bands. So.
Was that Hysteria?
It was.
Okay.
Iconic album, lots of great songs. Couldn't care less about any of them. So there you go.
Wow.
That's just me. I'm not saying it's not good.
What about Pyromania? Did that one do anything for you?
Nah.
Okay.
Just never hit the chord for me. I was kind of delving into the Sex Pistols around this time in my life, and
you're not a hairband guy.
I wasn't a hairband guy. I've since gone back and appreciate them more now, but that's because I do a nostalgia podcast and I have to. Some other pop culture events that happened in 1988 that I thought were fun. Gary Busey suffered some traumatic brain damage from his motorcycle accident that year. So that was bad news. But he hasn't let it stop, Mike. He's still
producing some good stuff.
Yeah. Have some buttered sausage in his honor today.
Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face.
I'll take two.
In August 8th, 1988, 8888, was the first night game at Wrigley Field. It promptly rained about two innings in. It did feature a couple appearances by Morgana, the kissing bandit.
Oh, no.
I think she went out twice going after Ryan Sandberg, but there you go. That was interesting. George Lucas in 1988 gave an impassioned speech to Capitol Hill about the dangers of altering film. There was a push to kind of alter some classic film, and he didn't think that was right. And then in the irony department, 10 years later, he altered all 6 of his movies at that point with new special effects. So, but yeah, that's
that's a classic.
Yeah, but that's a real story. Look it up. Quentin Tarantino played a cameo on the episode of The Golden Girls as a Elvis impersonator.
Holy crap!
I swear to God, I just didn't shake up a pop culture meme generator and make that sentence. That's a real thing. I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna get on YouTube.
I probably saw
tonight.
it, but I would know. Yeah.
Yeah. This is also the year that I point this out because there's a relevant movie coming up about this guy, but Enzo Ferrari died this year, Mike. Not to be confused with Aldo Benedetti from Days of Thunder. Wonderfully played by producer Don Simpson.
Goggles Faisano was taken by Fred Flintstone.
I just like to anytime I get a chance to reference that, I will. So
yes,
apologies to our listening nation. And finally,
Ferrari.
This was the year that's due to some serious fan backlash. The character Scrappy Doo was axed from all future Scooby-Doo adventures. So no more Scrappy Doo.
You got Scooby Dum after that, though, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. Scrappy Doo was later shot and killed in Miami 2 years later. So sadly.
Oh.
I think it's time we should probably jump into the movie, Mike.
Oh yeah, there's one of those.
Remember those? Yeah. So it's holiday time. It's the season is here. It's the season of Yule.
It's blazing hot outside in the middle of July.
Yeah, of course. So I think we should just jump in. So Mike, if you're ready, why don't you hit the button? So our Christmas miracle of a movie starts with Bruce Willis on an airplane, kind of struggling with sickness, and his neighbor looks over and sees that he's struggling, and he says, "Hey," he presents to him a hack, says, "When you get home, take your shoes off, stand on the carpet, and make some fists with your toes." And that's important for later. So stay tuned. But he does get off the plane and he lights up first of, I think, 1,000 cigarettes here, Mike. I think he got tobacco along making this film. He's constantly smoking. He's met by...
That's the irony of it all, right? He seems smoking and all this, and then in real life, he ends up getting a nerve, condition from dementia.
Right.
Go figure. No relation.
Yeah. So he's met at the airport by his limo driver, Argyle.
Yes.
Who's the number one soul brother, and they kind of bond immediately, and he takes them into Los Angeles in his limo, and they pop in some Christmas Time in Hollis, Queens by Run DMC. So already I'm feeling it. Like we're doing good here. So he takes them to the Nakatomi Hotel to meet his wife, who's I think some corporate raider. I don't know. She's a businesswoman, and they're having their Christmas celebration on the 30th floor. The building's closed. He goes up there and says hello, and then she's got obligations to the party, so she goes back down, and Bruce goes upstairs just to try to relax, and he's working out his little toe hack, and it works. But as this happens, you'll never guess what happens, Mike. The bad guys show up. I think he got a dozen vaguely European guys with a lot of Aquanet and some wonderfully feathered hair on most of them, all wearing black turtlenecks because that's great. They come in, they shoot the receptionist, and they quarantine the building and block it off and barricade everything up. And they're there to steal the $640 million worth of bonds inside Mr. Tagagi's safe. So they pull Mr. Takagi, out of the...
And what's amazing is when that elevator opens and the terrorists are there, I mean, you're barely just a little over 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
And everything's established. You have your good guy, his backstory. You have the bad guy introducing himself with his little book.
Yep.
And like you say, all the vaguely European terrorists. You have just the whole setup is right there. And
yeah, just get right to
it.
Right?
It's so well done. Yeah, like getting right to it, and it's perfect.
So they cause a lot of gratuitous violence, and there's a few gratuitous nude scenes here, but it's established that they're holding the people hostages while they try to break the vault.
It's a Christmas party, Justin. That's what makes it so festive.
Right.
It's Christmas.
All right, I'm with you so far. The pendulum swinging again. So Bruce gets wind of this, and he obviously has to sprint upstairs without his shoes, so he's barefoot for the entire movie, and there's relevance to that as we go. But he's a cop, and his cop training kicks in, and he makes a little bit of noise upstairs, and one of the henchmen go up there, and he makes his first kill. I think he breaks the guy's neck falling down the stairs. And Mike, our intolerance for wigs and stuntmen. I don't know if you noticed right away.
This was a bad wig, yeah.
Yeah, whoever the stuntman was for Bruce Willis was about 3 foot shorter. And
amazingly, right? You think, wow, they actually picked the guy shorter than Bruce Willis? How did you do that?
Yeah, some of that, those fisticuffs were not good.
No.
So he takes out his first of many bad guys here, and because he can't be seen, he decides to do it all kind of behind the scenes. So he writes a little message on the guy. He duct tapes him to a chair, sends him down the elevator to the 30th floor where all the hostages are. And he writes, "Now I have a machine gun." And he puts a little Christmas, I think, a Santa hat on him, right, Mike?
Yeah, I love the hat. There you go. It's Christmas. Come on.
Yeah, so now Hans and the gang know that they haven't got anybody, and they've got a loose cannon, literally, running around. So that kind of sets up the premise of the movie. So as Bruce Willis kind of wiggles his way free, he goes up to the roof and gets on a radio and calls 911. And then, if nothing else is on display here, it's the inadequacy of the emergency response team in Los Angeles in this movie. Wow. Lots of bad decisions. But they think he's lying, and they finally relent and send. We get Urkel's neighbor is in a bodega buying 25 Twinkies for his pregnant wife. He gets the call, and he goes to the Nakatomi Tower, to investigate. Sees nothing, and then Bruce is up on top of the building going crazy. He can't get any results, so he literally has to throw a dead body on the guy's car to get this Twinkie hauler to notice. So Al the policeman we're talking about here, Urkel's neighbor, panics and gets shot at, and then he calls dispatch and asks for backup. And then, of course, they literally sent a Peterbilt truck full of every policeman in California. So they've got the building surrounded. And then, of course, the feds show up. You get the principal from the principal from Breakfast Club showing up, and you get Robert Davi and his partner as the feds.
Yes,
and guess
cowboy
what, Mike?
FBI
Yeah.
guys.
Guess what? There's some issues about who has jurisdiction. Have you ever seen that in an action movie before? The local guys versus the feds. They're going, who's got jurisdiction here? So they play that out, and they establish themselves as dopes. But so the feds are in charge now. So there you go. So they send a really incompetent SWAT team. I don't think any of these actors had any SWAT training, Mike. I think they just let
No way.
Yeah. So they go to the front door and they kind of get shot up. So they got their own mega weapon, Mike. They haul out a
guided missile,
an urban assault vehicle to
all that,
because the terrorists thought to bring anti-tank guns with them for this robbery. So so everybody's dying, everybody's getting frustrated, and meanwhile Bruce is upstairs all by himself. And the second act is just essentially a series of blamos and smashies and Bruce trying to stay alive. They shoot up all the glass to make his tracking through the it was pretty kind of a gruesome scene where he's got all this glass embedded in his feet.
Yeah, that was tough to look at. Right?
And I liked it because it implied a sense of vulnerability to him, because he is this macho action guy, but he's barefoot and he's frail, and he's it was kind of a neat little element to add in there to your hero. At least as the bad guys are getting thinned out, Hans gets a little more desperate and makes this like phony hostage plea where he wants transport to he lies about some political prisoners he wants released, and he wants a helicopter to meet him up on the roof and get passage to the airport. And the feds think, well, this is their opportunity. So he also wants all the hostages up there as well. So the feds go up there with gunships, prepared to take everybody out. And of course, all he's done is he's wired the top of the roof to explode. And Bruce gets up there and kind of circumvents that, gets the hostages loose, kills some of the bad guys, but not before the roof explodes, taking out the feds in the helicopter, which I thought was my favorite part. We didn't have to talk about those guys anymore.
Oh yeah,
yeah. In retaliation, Bruce throws about 50 pounds of C4 down the elevator shaft and blows up the entire third floor. Not realizing that you need structural support for a skyscraper. Yeah,
I kind of forgot that. Yeah.
But you get a couple other big set pieces here, kind of highlighted by the crazy scene where he jumps off the side of the building tethered by the fire hose and breaks through the glass while the things are blowing up. That shot's been replicated hundreds of thousands of times. He ultimately makes his way down. There's two henchmen left. There's the big Tarzan guy, Mike, the capo, and Hans. He ends up taking out the Tarzan guy. He chains him up and then hangs him because Christmas. And then he makes his way down, and
it's like an ornament.
A panicked Hans Gruber finally realized that he can outsmart him, so he takes his wife hostage, who he found out through a rather lame TV reporter William Atherton subplot, getting all his history on the news. So Hans Gruber has been informed of all his personal issues with this thing. So he takes his wife and holds her at gunpoint, and Bruce outsmarts him because he had taped a gun to his back. The small of his back. I don't know why Hans Gruber just didn't shoot him. He gave him like 25 minutes to Scooby-Doo explain his ending, and then
yeah.
Why don't you just kill him?
No, Scott, I have an even better idea. I'm going to place him in an easily escapable situation involving an overly elaborate and exotic death.
Why don't you just shoot him now? I mean, I'll go get a gun. We'll shoot him together. It'll be fun. Bang! Dead. Done.
One more peep out of you and you are grounded, mister, and I am not joking.
But he ends up shooting Hans, and then as he starts to fall through the glass, he grabs on to Bonnie Bedelia, and he's hovering over there, and then she takes off her Rolex, and that causes him to lose his grasp with her, and he does another wonderful slow-mo villain falling off a la Ronnie Cox in
Cohagen
in the RoboCop. I would love to have a mashup, Mike. We should probably do this of all of the scenes where the villains fall to their death in a similar manner.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of them, from like Jack Nicholson as the Batman, Joker.
Oh yeah, just movies
Batman.
we've done. You're right.
I was thinking about that driving home today about things we should talk about, and I think it's because it's an easy way to make your villain or your hero less bloodthirsty. If you think about an action movie, what was the last action movie you saw where the protagonist like physically kills the bad guy? It's usually, that he outsmarts them, and John Lithgow,
the bad guy,
blows up, and they always fall or they get blown up because of their own hubris. But why can't the
it's not a mano kind of, except for like Gladiator or something like that. Like a movie where somebody dies by the hand of the good guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Why couldn't Bruce Willis strangle Hans Gruber to death? But you got to make him likable. So that kind of ends the story. They kind of go down for a little, denouement at the end. Al the cop gets introduced to John. They have a nice little hug. They've been talking to each other through this whole dilemma the whole way. The Tarzan guy comes back to life in the middle of the crowded room. I guess nobody saw him coming out on the stairs. And there's like some throwaway story about Al not being able to fire his gun through a previous bad event in his history. So he gets an opportunity to conquer that fear. That was just really kind of tacked on. So he shoots the dead Tarzan again and kills him again. Bonnie Bedelia takes a punch and knocks out Walter Peck. So she gets her chance to get her revenge. There's like these 4 little tacked on things at the end just to like for fan service and nothing else. Right. And then Leon Redbone comes out and sings the Let It Snow, which was fantastic. And the credits roll, and they kind of transition slowly to Ode to Joy. It made me think of Carlton Fisk hitting that home run in the bottom of the 12th in Game 6. The Fenway fans were so riled up that they played Ode to Joy as its miracle moment. It's a beautiful, romantic thing that a baseball purist just loves. That's why I love baseball, Mike, because if that ball was 1 inch to the left, it would have been strike one. All it was, it gave the Red Sox the opportunity to go to Game 7, which they promptly lost after blowing a 3-0 lead, and they lost on a little bloop single from Joe Morgan. So that's everybody forgets that. That's why I love baseball, and that's why I think it's the best metaphor for life, because this wonderful, magical, the most sappy, beautiful moment in baseball history was quickly erased the next day. Through no fault of their own. But
it's like the Bartman incident for the Cubs. It's like that. As bad as that was, that wasn't the ultimate end of the Cubs.
No, that's
there was there was something after that. There was stuff.
That's that.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean.
No, that too soon, Mike. But that's why I love baseball, because that's just like life, So let's talk about other things that were loved. So awards and accolades for this movie. This only had $600,000 in its opening weekend, which seems odd that you expect movies of this caliber to be in the millions, but it only had 600,000.
Yeah. You gotta pay Bruce Willis's salary.
Yeah, I guess so. But it did turn the corner. As I said, it was the number 7 movie that year in the box office, ultimately getting $84 million in its domestic run, and another $141 million from a worldwide release. So not bad. Got 4 Oscar nominations: sound effects editing, visual effects, but didn't win any of them. It produced 4 sequels, I believe, and we'll get to those here in a little bit. I have not seen any of those, but
you see the second one?
Well, I'm going to get to that here in a minute, Mike. Okay. So I think the legacy of this film is the number of knockoffs that it inspired. I mean, you could make the case that Cliffhanger or like Under Siege, Air Force One.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's funny. That's what I wrote in my notes. Yeah. Like, we've had, since this movie, we've had Die Hard on a bus. We've had Die Hard on a cruise ship. We've had Die Hard at an ice hockey game. We've had Die Hard on an airplane. We've had Die Hard on a train.
It's a formula that works. I mean, let's be honest. Don't forget
beyond a skyscraper.
Don't forget Icebreaker, Mike, with with Sean Astin. Don't forget
and a ball-headed Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, after you told me about that, I didn't know of this movie's existence, so I'm forever indebted to you. And I went on YouTube and watched the trailer, and I could not believe what I was seeing. I thought it literally looks like a Saturday Night Live sketch. It doesn't. How could this be even real? How could this even be real?
There's so many. It is so full of stereotypes and tropes. You'll just
I
laugh at them. You should have a little checklist with you when you watch it.
I
Just to,
cannot
you know.
wait to watch it. I'm so excited to watch it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's put it through our grumpy meter, Mike. So I'm going to let you go first. Let's talk about this movie in terms of the first time we saw it as younger guys and how our opinions have changed, good or bad, since our most recent watch.
Yeah, I loved it when I was 17 watching it at the theater because it was pure action. I mean, there's some lovey-dovey stuff in there as a kid. You're like, enough with the Bonnie Bedelia, a strange wife thing. But I mean, like I say, 20 minutes in, that stuff's gone. All that veneer of any kind of like in-depth social commentary about his love life is gone. It's like, okay, good action. So that's why you like it as as a teenage boy. I get watching it now. It's like what we talked about with Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Jaws. It's like a pioneer movie. We were just talking about how this movie has been aped and repeated over and over, wash and rinse, repeat. In so many different ways and so many, and all of it's the same. It's a guy who is up against basically terrorists, and one by one picks them off, and just pick your setting. And but this was in 1988. This movie was still pretty, unfamiliar kind of plot for people watching it, like us. And that's what again is you're watching it now, and you respect that more than anything. Like, wow, this was original stuff. It's hard to believe. Look at all the I've seen this before,
Right.
That was post 88, and that's what makes it so interesting to watch now.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's a blockbuster for you, Mike. I'm going to out myself here. I had never seen Die Hard before.
What?
Oh my gosh!
Your pretentious fanboy movie lover has never seen this movie. This was my first viewing of it. Yeah, it's my shameful secret that I'm exposed to millions of people. So I don't have any frame of reference, but I was tempted just to dust off the cliffhanger notes that we did from our previous podcast and just use those and walk my way through it. But so I watched this early in the morning, like I typically do, and I'll tell you what, I enjoyed the heck out of it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I have seen this movie through osmosis of all the other movies, so it's not like I didn't know what was going to happen at every turn, but it was just neat to go back to a time, like I said, where action movies were guys. I'm not trying to be misogynistic here. I'm just talking about
it's not. I mean, this movie was aimed, for a certain demographic. And
they were
boom,
guys.
Boom, hit the target.
He was a smart ass. He smoked. He a bit of a misogynist. He bought into stereotypes. I mean, it's just neat to see a movie like that. It's almost like seeing a mastodon. It's some ancient relic. But it was just I just enjoyed start to finish. It was just really enjoyable. And I haven't seen 2, 3, 4 or whatever the Die Hard with a Vengeance or all the.
Yeah, I stopped after 2. That's why I was kind of asking if you'd seen 2 because it was so formulaic and such a ripoff of this movie, just set in Washington instead of L.A. and then they have a movie set in New York. After that, so it's like, okay, you just change the settings.
Yeah, so I'll probably do Die Hard 2 because it's Rennie Harlan and some of its impact to our show and all that kind of stuff. But once the 3s and the 4s start popping out, I kind of get lost. So okay. So did we think it was a Christmas movie or not? So me and Mike spent a lot of time this week kind of performing or writing a thesis, and we took all the data we could, cultural or otherwise, and we presented the data to each other, and we cross-referenced, and we've come to the inevitable conclusion that it is a resounding who cares. It doesn't matter what you consider this a Christmas movie or not. If you watch it during the holidays and you enjoy it, that's good enough. Who are we to say otherwise? So that kind of leads into our segment of You Just Made the List, Pal. We thought if this movie could qualify as a holiday movie that's not really about Santa Claus or the spirit of the season, what other movies could qualify for that? So, Mike, why don't we talk about movies that we watch during the holidays that we would consider our own personal holiday movies, and it may not necessarily be about the red and green and the Yule and the spirit of the season and the miracle of Christmas, but things that we watch during the holidays that we call holiday movies that might not fit the conventional standard. So, why don't you go first? Let's do 3 and maybe a honorable mention or two. So why don't you start us off?
All right. The movie I thought of watching this movie just because of one particular person in it, excuse me, was Trading Places. Not really what you would think of as a Christmas movie, but it does have, there's a Christmas party or two in the movie, and one of the most iconic scenes for me is when Dan Aykroyd has hit rock bottom, and he's playing a drunk Santa Claus when he interrupts the office party, and he just stinks. He's just drunk as can be. And I always remember that scene, and I think of the whole movie is set at Christmas time, and it, and parts of it are, but it's just, it's not a Christmas movie, it's totally different from that. But still, that's to me, that movie just felt like that for me. And it was the setting, it was being in New York, and it was in the winter time. So I was like, you know what? There you go. That's the first thing. And when I saw Paul Gleason in this movie, I couldn't help but think of him in his gorilla suit, and it just says Christmas to me. So there you go.
No, that counts. That's a good one. We should probably cover that movie at some point, don't you think?
Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? My first pick is a little left of center, but I typically watch Casino and Goodfellas during the holidays. They don't fill you with the spirit of the season by any means. But these are just a lot of these movies I'm going to pick are just the sheer result out of comfort. These are just movies that I enjoy. So,
and, I mean, Die Hard is the actual movie is an anti-Christmas kind of movie. But do you think most of these movies that we're going to have on our list, and actually the first two we have here, are mostly because of just when we see them? And is that what makes it a Christmas movie?
I think that's enough.
Or anything?
I think if you're going to quantify anything or qualify anything, that's good enough. Yeah. These are movies I typically watch when I'm relaxed. I'm off work. I don't have the burden, the chaos of my daily grind, and this substitutes for friends and family for me. This is my Jimmy Conway and Ray Liotta. That's my Christmas family.
Yeah. I mean, and I just think of how much time you have during the holidays to watch some of these movies that you can just watch over and over and over again.
I think I just associate my mood and the relaxation of that time with watching these movies, and it's just kind of a win-win. So Casino and Goodfellas.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice combo.
That's my first pick. So, Mike, you're up next.
All right. This kind of goes hand in hand of Die Hard, and one of these movies I think came out the year after or the summer after Die Hard. But there would be Tim Burton Batman movies. The first one we did, with the Penguin. I'm sorry, not the Penguin. Joker, Jack Nicholson's famous role alongside Michael Keaton. And the movie came out in the summer. But watch that movie, it's always snowing. It's cold. It's Gotham City's always at night, and it's always cold. And it has the feel of a Christmas movie. Same with the one with Danny DeVito as the Penguin. And
the first two,
one.
both set during Christmas time. Yeah.
And a lot of it's just the filming of Tim Burton. You think about like a movie like Sleepy Hollow or Edward Scissorhands. It has that
atmospheric
wackiness
thing to it.
Yeah. It's just an atmosphere of Christmas to it. And that's the way I felt about both of those Batman movies.
Yeah, so, that's a great pick.
Those are two for me.
Okay, well, I'm going to go really commercial on this one. I'm not the greatest superhero fan, but I did love the original Marvel series, and I typically will watch like the last two. I'll watch the Infinity War and Endgame, primarily because they last forever. I'm usually doing other things during the holidays, and to have these movies in the background are just kind of comforting, and it really is kind of a testament. We love to knock on how vacuous comic book movies are, but these two they're a culmination of 8 years worth of films, and there is a story arc there that's very well crafted, like it or not, and it's just neat to see the epic scale of these things put together, and the visual effects are okay and pretty good, and just to see this culmination of this decade long worth of effort from millions of people in Hollywood, I just kind of have a real appreciation for that. And so I kind of watched the Marvel guys at the end of the year, and that's kind of my next pick. So there you go.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
Well, I got a couple of we mentioned these before.
I
some
was I
people
was
probably
wait I was waiting. I know where you're going, so they're gonna be
some
it's
people
gonna be
have
my
some
pick
like
too. Yeah,
no deja vu of this a previous conversation we had about this, but
yeah,
we had of course all the I always think of Harry Potter movies.
yeah.
Even though what's weird about those movies is they're not, you know, they have Christmas in them, but you could probably ask a lot of staunch Christians, and they probably would say Harry Potter is the work of the devil. But
They would say
that's
that, wouldn't
that's
they?
neither here nor there. To me, they just epitomize like a Christmas movie just based on their release of the movie and
Yeah.
the time of watching it. And whenever you see a Harry Potter marathon shown on regular TV, whoever watches that anymore, it's usually right this time of year. They show all, what are they, 8, 9, 10 movies? I can't remember anymore.
Yeah, I haven't seen the
And
finale, the
there's
last two. I haven't seen those
yeah,
yet.
it's the
Don't
Deathly
tell me.
Hallows. Yeah, but
Don't
anyway,
spoil it.
that's what honorable mention. Also, I think of the Lord of the Rings movies. Just again based on the release of when they came out, and
Yeah,
it's another one of those consumable movies that you could watch every Christmas and or
right.
holiday season. But my final movie is Jumanji, which again I can't remember enough to know if it even features Christmas. I think the board game itself may be a Christmas present that he's given to him.
Yeah.
Um, but it's set in Maine, and it's again it goes through various seasons, but it's
I'm on pins and needles. You're of course talking about the original and not the
oh
Dwayne
yeah,
Johnson Kevin Hart version.
Jack
Okay.
Black. Well, no, not
Okay.
not at
All
all.
right. All right.
No,
You can continue.
the Robin Williams movie. Yes, it had more of that feeling of
Yeah.
not that I saw the new one. I didn't. There's no way I could see the new one. By the way, is there some show called Young Rock with never mind.
Stop
I just
it.
saw I just saw an advertisement for it. I was like, are you kidding me? But anyway, yeah, that Jumanji had the feeling to me of like again, it's the atmosphere. It's where it's set. It's when I saw it originally. I think it was a Christmas release movie. So for me, that one had, I don't know, just that extra kind of je ne sais quoi to it that made me think
Yeah.
of a holiday movie, even though it's
No,
not really supposed to be that way.
no, that works. That's a good pick. So my final pick, I was kind of holding off on Lord of the Rings because I knew that was going to be on your list. Those are just those are top tier, top three movies for me. I include it as the whole thing. Just such an event movie. I watched the extended editions. You can take 10 hours out of a Saturday and watch all those back to back to back while you're putting up Christmas ornaments, or it's just the ultimate comfort movie for me. I wasn't a big fan. Not I would say a big fan, but in 2001, I wasn't following the release of that film very closely, and I kind of just went on a whim. I wasn't like dying to see it. I just had some free time, and so I was there, and I realized that I was the only one in that theater that wasn't completely jacked up. I had walked into this fan base there that just took me through a loop, and then the minute that the prologue comes in with that giant battle at the foot of Mount Doom, was like, oh man. And I've been hooked ever since, to the point where it's almost an obsession. So those are always a staple. I include the Hobbits movies in there too. People like to hate on those, but I think they're just as compelling. But the things I typically watch that for my final list is I go back, and I don't have a specific movie, but I typically use this time of the year to kind of go back and watch classic comedies from the 30s, primarily Marx Brothers movies, W.C. Fields movies. This was something that my dad taught me when I was very, very young. He used to watch these movies in the 70s on the off chance that they would happen to come on WGN at 1:30 in the morning, because that was your only chance to see that. That was pre VCR time. So when these did come on, it was an event. We got to stay up late and watch these. And just the themes of the Marx Brothers movies are great, because it's really about, they're always insulting the rich, they're always insulting the well off, they're insulting everybody. W.C. Fields movies are just as bad. He loathes children. He takes every opportunity he can to hurt, annoy, or or dispatch them. He constantly drinking. But some of the intellectual element of that comedy is so good, so strong. Some of those jibes and some of those riffs that they do are so smart and so many tiers above beyond what modern comedy is. There's very unique things to watch, and I just really enjoy watching those this time of year, and I can't explain why, but I just try to. But there you go. So I watch Marx Brothers movies and W.C. Fields movies this time of year as a part of my Christmas gift to myself. All right. Well, Mike, we just did a podcast. What do you know? It's been almost 6 weeks. Who knew? So we did remember how to do it. So, guys, we just want to remind you that if you like what you heard today, check us out on our social media page. That's at Grumpy Nostalgia on Instagram. If you'd like to send us an email with any specific requests or questions, you can do that at nostalgiagrumps@gmail.com. If you like, also, if you've been listening for a while and you have yet to follow, please do that and rate, review our show. That really helps us out a lot. We'd appreciate that if you do that for us as well. We have a couple announcements. One, we are pleased to announce that we have launched a YouTube channel.
Oh no!
There is, if you'd like to see how the sausage is made, we'll put a link in our Instagram page here eventually, so you can go over to YouTube. And we're currently featuring one episode, the episode where we covered Nightmare on Elm Street with our friends Headbang and Mosh Pit. We put that one on video, and it kind of made a bit of a visual guide to it with some annotations. It was kind of fun. It's a rough draft. And that was intentional. So if you'd like to hang over to YouTube, like and subscribe, you can check out and see our faces. Tell us in the comments what you would like to see, what you wouldn't like to see. What you wouldn't like to see cannot include our faces, so I don't want to hear about that. We can't help what we look like. We're just as God made us. Thank you very much. But head on over to YouTube, tell your friends, and drop a like and subscribe. And we hope that that's an incredible time-consuming task for us, but we're going to try to get a few videos up there every few months. And if you want to see our show in a different light, you can check us out there. So we're happy to show that to you. So there you go. Check us out. Grumpy Nostalgia on YouTube. Moving into the 21st century, Mike.
Yeah, we're there. Wow. Yeah. That's a big announcement. I'm excited.
Yeah, Mike didn't know either, guys. I just used the pictures, descriptions, and likeness of him and put it up on the page. There you go.
Yeah, I got to sign a waiver, don't I, or something?
Yeah, we'll see.
Darn it.
All right, so that's going to kind of wrap it up for us, guys. We got a lot of Christmas shopping to do, but we want to thank everybody for listening, and it's good to be back in the chair and giving you these shows. So, Mike, what do you say? You anything else you want to say to our team before we head out of here today?
Yeah, when you mess with the bull, you will get the horns.
Yeah, why don't you wake up and smell what you're shoveling, Mike? All right, so for Mike James, this is Justin, and we will see you again next time. Yippee-ki-yay.
Welcome to the party, pal!